What's up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I have some stuff to talk about. I recently rewatched, this is one of the first major internet projects that I sort of consumed and supported the Kickstarter for, and really it was something that was very inspirational to me back in the day in terms of wanting to create YouTube. If you don't know about Freddie Wong, or Brandon JLA, Freddie Wong was a massive YouTuber back in the day. He did a bunch of incredible videos. You've almost certainly at least seen a couple of them, even if you haven't heard of who Freddie Wong is. You've definitely seen some of his work. I can be certain of that. And then Brandon JLA was kind of his partner in crime, and Brandon moved on to doing VR stuff. He ended up creating his own VR game studio, which is super cool, and they created all sorts of amazing stuff, including Boneworks, which is a incredible VR game. Boneworks is really, really cool, and yeah, they made a lot of cool stuff. But Video Game High School, VGHS, is just one of the best internet series ever created, and one of the there's a butterfly, how exciting. One of the first major sort of proving grounds, I guess, that the idea of an internet video series with the production values of a full television show, but entirely crowdfunded, could work. The idea that they could create something bigger and create a large project with actors and all sorts of special guests and a story and a whole world, but it was crowdfunded. And that's super cool. But I'm not really here to talk about why the way it was made is super cool. Obviously, that was all incredibly inspiring to me, especially back in the day. But VGHS influenced me in ways I think I didn't even realize back in the day. And I think maybe the more impressive thing about VGHS is that it still fully holds up, in my opinion, this many years later. VGHS is very much a product of its time, and yet this objectively cringe show is actually incredibly good, full of insanely amazing humor. It's so funny and heartfelt, and it has incredible things to say. It is a genuinely, really, really good show from start to finish, and I highly encourage, if you have not seen VGHS, get out there and watch it. You will enjoy the heck out of it, I promise. It's super cringe, but really fun. It's very genuine. It's about a world in which video games are the most important thing, which I think is hilarious. There's multiple times where, throughout the entire series, basically, the president is missing. I think he's been, kidnapped or something, or he's just gone. They lost him. It's one or the other, and the news, it keeps, cutting away to the TVs, and the news is talking about how the president is still missing, and then the news will be interrupted. The news about the president will be interrupted with a frag alert about the newest kill cam that just went insane, and then they'll completely interrupt, the news about the missing president to tell people about the craziest kill cam that just happened. And it's so funny. It is so, deeply understanding of what it is doing. And I think that the reason that it is funny and understanding and self-aware, I think those things are what make it hold up nowadays, and are honestly the backbone of a lot of good art. Okay? And now we start to get into what I really want to talk about, because I watch VGHS, do it. But it's all for free on YouTube, by the way. There is a playlist of all of VGHS by Rocket Jump. You can just watch all of it. You should do that. Anyways, VGHS as a series is reflective, I think, of a very important aspect of the best art, which is that the best art is often quite genuine in its execution. what I mean by that is stuff like VGHS is cringe. VGHS is cringe to its very core. It is about a world in which people are gamers and they make gamer jokes, and it's very funny, but it is cringe the whole time because it's cringe to be a gamer. And yet, it makes a heartfelt, very, very good story that is entertaining and says a lot. And I think a similar thing that we can look at now that does something I think that is very similar is the work of James Gunn. Especially the most recent Superman movie, I think, is a incredible example of this. James Gunn does a lot of things in his movies that are relatively cringe. Guardians of the Galaxy is full of those moments, and yet those moments are what makes the movie so good. You can't have the emotional depth of Guardians of the Galaxy if you don't also have those cringe moments of Peter Quinn dancing around and, you know, listening to his Walkman. Like, these moments of quote-unquote cringeness are actually just very real depictions and earnest things. I think we're in an interesting place where irony and being somebody who is hidden under certain layers of irony has become cool, and it is quote-unquote cringe to be genuine. Being genuine, talking about the things you are actually interested in, all of that stuff, yapping, it's considered quite cringe, but cringeness is, in essence, what makes us who we are. That's how people express themselves. You need to be genuine to be yourself. And that's where the best art comes from, the art that we can find incredibly relatable. And so stuff like the works of James Gunn or Video Game High School succeed where others have failed because they are so genuine. If Video Game High School was being ironic, if they were saying, haha, look at these gamers, they're so lame, here's the lame things that they do, and they were being in any way ironic about it, instead of writing a love letter to the idea of being a gamer and also the idea of being a filmmaker. Video Game High School is a love letter to both filmmaking and video games. In the video game way, it's, I think, quite obvious how it's a love letter. It's very direct. They, you know, are making a love letter every single moment of every single episode to the idea of video games, but they're also making a love letter to the idea of filmmaking. Every episode of VGHS is its own genre of filmmaking. I think that's so cool. There is a crime thriller style episode. There is a noir style episode. There is drama episodes, high school style episodes. Like, they base everything around different ideas of filmmaking and using different filmmaking languages to make the story more effective and funnier. They tell jokes that you actually just couldn't tell any other way utilizing filmmaking, and that's an incredible use of the art form. And so VGHS is not shying away from these things. It's not trying to act like it's cooler than you. It is being very genuine and expressing itself and expressing the love that the creators actually had for these things, for the concepts of filmmaking, for video games themselves, and it's expressing them in a way that is cringe because it's genuine, and that's what makes it beautiful. Being cringe is so important. Be more cringe. Allow yourself to be free, man. It's so important to express yourself because that's how you create art that actually resonates with other people. Nobody wants your weird TikTok drivel where you're, you know, talking about the next fashion or whatever, and like you're just trying to be cool and trying to like do stuff that other people enjoy. That has never once been the way you should actually go about creating art. It doesn't make for meaningful art. It makes for sad drivel that means nothing. But if you take the time to really put your passion into something. That's exactly what's going on with James Gunn. James Gunn makes incredible movies, and he does so because he cares. He loves comic books, man. He's such a nerd, and he takes that deep sort of creativity that's imbued upon him by his genuine love, and he expresses it in a way that is genuine. And so from that, you get incredible art. And so, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to talk about that. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. Please go watch VGHS. You owe it to yourself. It's such a good show. It's so good. And, oh, Prism, I'm hanging out with Prism at the park today. We found some cool mushrooms earlier, so we'll have now that I'm done telling you about VGHS, let's take a look at these cool mushrooms, everybody. Wow, there's so many mushrooms on this tree. Let me make sure I'm not going to walk through a spider web. First of all, there's all this happening over here. That's some craziness. Those are some cool mushrooms right there. But then, there's this tree, and then these. Look at these freshies.
Not to be a bummer, but yet to be a bummer. I certainly hope that they're not the golden oyster mushrooms that have been pretty invasive, popping up all over the place, because they do look like oysters.
They do look like oysters. Is golden oyster invasive?
Yes.
Dang.
Everyone's... It's because the spores get out when people order those mushroom growing kits. They're
oh.
They're spreading a little too much.
I understand.
But I do think that we have native oysters, so maybe they're native oysters.
Fingers crossed. They're quite pretty.
And they're not golden.
That's true. They're more of a white yellowish thing.
More of a white. They look like a normal oyster. They might not be oysters. That might be wrong.
Could be wrong, but either way, if you know what these mushrooms are, let us know in the comments. But yeah, some cool mushrooms. Look at these turkey tails or false turkey tails. I don't know which.
I don't remember. I think turkey tails are a northwest thing, so these might be false.
That makes sense. Either way, they're quite pretty. I hope y'all enjoy these mushrooms. They're very cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Go watch VGHS. You'll enjoy it. I promise. It's a really, really good thing. Imagine, like, there's so many different stories that have been told that way, but now Prism and I start calling them VGHS type stories, like Community. OKKO is a great example, where it's like the one most important thing in the world is being a hero, and everybody operates around that mindset. Whereas in VGHS, the most important thing is video games, and everybody needs to do something related to video games. So.
If you like Community and you want to watch it for free and you're a little video game nerd, do it. Yep,
watch VGHS. It's basically Community, but different. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Peace.